Dear Professor, my dear friend Muhammad Yunus, dear participants of the Global Social Business Summit,
Prova. 1, 2, 1, 2, mix 7. Prova, mic numero 8.
hits you when it's too late, hits you when you're down. It's a fool's game, nothing but a fool's game, standing in the cold rain, feeling like a clown.
Pretty little hairdo, don't do what it used to. Can't disguise the living, all the miles that you've been through. Looking like a train wreck, wearing too much makeup, burden that you carry more than one soul could ever bear. So sad. Don't look so sad.
I had a dream we were
can! Yes, we can!
Good morning.
Benvenuti a tutti, benvenuti a Torino, benvenuti al Summit.
Once again in Italy. That didn't hear it, huh?
Benvenuti a tutti a Torino, benvenuti al Summit.
Are here and sit down. Can we have the light and let's stand up our friends, our delegation from Bangladesh. Please, all Bangladeshis stand up and give them all a big welcome. These are... Woo! Woo, 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 woo! Gushti, Gushti, Hashi, Hashi. Hello. You did it. we have so many people to want to welcome you. And let's bring them all on stage. First, this is the GCL team. Can we have the people from the Cafe Ukraina come on stage? All the ladies and great women from the Cafe Ukraina who prepared this, please on stage, and a big applause for them. We will listen to their stories. 6 representative, great family holders from Ukraine. We walked the last 6 months. That's our Cafe Ukraina.
Hello.
Super nice. And then we have 2 representatives from the TMP Paribas group, from TMP group. Please come. That's as an event planner. They helped us in Turin. Welcome. Give them a big applause in relation to Rebecca. Please come on stage. Super cool. Let's see who else is here. We have Kate Robinson. Please come on stage, Kate, and welcome. And One Young World. What's a great. They all want to say hello to the Bangladesh friends. We have the whole table here from the mayor of Turin and the Turin. Thanks a lot you host us. You will give your speech later, but we are really happy to be in Turin. And let's go for it and dream, then Turin will be the social conscience-driven city in Europe. Thanks a lot to host us. Thanks for the table. We have Master Joseph Vincent. Where's Joseph? Joseph, come on stage. Oh, a beautiful Bangladeshi friends, one of the best contactor in the world. Joseph. Super cool. And what else? We have a view from the space. People come. Ron Garin, please come on stage and welcome the people. Our astronaut, our friend since over 12 years, he brought the book of Professor Yunus into the space. It's Ron Garin, and Kamal is with him, like always. And every year you celebrate your anniversary.
That's right.
Yes, with us. This is very good. And we have, thank you, we have Christina from the Yunus Environment Hub. Christina, where you are? Please, Christina, come on stage. Yunus Environment Hub, want to welcome the family as well. We have Joan from the Yunus Sports Hub, come on stage. And where is the succeeder of the Yunus Social Business Initiative? You're new kids on the block.
Ciao.
You're here already? Where? Hand ups. Where's the Yunus Social Business International Project? Oh, Saskia is on the way, she will come. And we have Thorsten Schreiber. Thorsten, the man from Africa, doesn't look like an African, but he just flew in yesterday. He changed the desert with all the energy what he brings. Green Africa Tech, a miracle. Thanks a lot. And it's his only journey this year what he makes to welcome the Bangladeshi inspiration, welcome the Grameen family and stuff. And we have representatives from all the people who works for the last 12 years with the Social Business Summit. Michael Brom, please come on stage and welcome as well. And Camp Donaldson, you have to come as well. You prepare now. Come on and present yourself. And he is a miracle how to lift the academia network for us over 12 years. Super nice to have you here. So, and we have the shapers, the makers, the doers of one of the greatest music organization in the United States and beyond. And we have Monica and Camille. Please come on stage and say hello to the friends. Is Camille also here? She's sick. You will do it. You will do it for both, Monica. Good. So that's some of the people want to.
A lot on very different topics. So you're going to discover what social business is. If you maybe are not acquainted with it, we're going to talk about tech for good, food crisis, how can we deal with it with social business. But mostly it's going to be about the connections. So this is a community, this is a family. The whole setting really looks like a wedding because we want you to really marry social business. and yes.
Man in the room, and you have to come a little bit closer, Daniela. He's the man who did all the setting design, and you have to raise your hand. You're sitting in the wheelchair, but you're magic and you're lovely, and you did all the design. We really love you. Thanks them all for the performance, and thanks a lot what you do for us. And Bangladeshis, that's your best friends what you have. They really promote you. And we have Ernesto Oliveri with us, and I just have to come over. Do we have the camera for him? Can I see the camera on this table? Ernesto, I know you only speak the language of love, but everybody loves you. And when you hold hand yesterday with Professor Yunus, maybe you can see the picture. That was hope for all of us. So you do it a real great job. Grazie, grazie. And Giuseppe, family to family, I think it's a great honor. Thanks a lot for your support. Without your family, we would not come together. A big thanks to the Lavazza Group and to the whole family of you. Thanks a lot. Wonderful what you're doing for us. Thank you. Good. So, Maria, you bring all your super performers into position.
Here.
All the players. As you may recognize, not yet, but you're sitting on the tennis court. And in 2-3 days, the World Finals ATP will start here, and you're already the player for social business on the world players, and after you follow the best sports guy. And that's definitely great. So, there's one person left on stage. And Irina, when we hear all on the 24th of February, then the aggressive attack to the Ukrainian people, to the Ukrainian families, to the people in thousands of villages and cities, we decide as much as we can do to recognize every day, the misery where people are in the war. And Irina, you brought us one song. We know us now more than 5 months. Many of the Ukrainian people in our home, we have around 24 families, 107 members of families. We take care of the last 6 months. There's Khan here. There's a lot of people in the Wiesbaden city who help us. You was the really driving force for me as well to keep on going. You have a beautiful song for us, and now it's your time on stage to present it. Thanks.
I'm not you. Huh. I'm not you. Look at me, I'm a beautiful creature. I don't care about your mother time preacher. Welcome, boy, too much noise, I will teach you. Ram pam power, tram pam power. Hey, I think you forgot how to play. My teddy bear's running away. The Barbie got something to say. Hey, 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 hey. My Simmons is leaving me alone. I'm taking my Pikachu home. You stupid just like you're smart. Oh. Wonder Woman, don't you ever forget. You're the one and he's about to regret. He's a bakum 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 I'm bakum bakum bakum. I'm not your bakum 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 bakum. I'm not your toy, not your toy, you stupid boy, stupid boy. I'll take you down, I'll make you watch me dance with my dolls on the Marabaka beat. Not your toy. what you gonna play? Straight. Vending bells ringing. Money man bling bling. I don't care about your stuff, baby. Rum pam pow, tram pam pow. Wonder Woman, don't you ever forget. You're divided kids about your regret. Cause bakum 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 bakum. I'm not your bakum 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 bakum. I'm not your toy, not your toy. You stupid boy, stupid boy. I'll take you down now, make you watch me dancing with my dolls on the motherfucker beat. Not your toy, not your toy. You stupid boy, stupid boy. I'll take you now, we whisper, my boy. I'm not your toy, you stupid boy. I'll take you down now, make you watch me dancing with my dolls on the motherfucker beat. I'm not your toy, look at me, I'm a beautiful creature. I don't care about your modern time preacher. I'm not your toy, not your toy, not your toy, toy. I'm not your toy, not your toy, not your toy, toy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You want to tell the meaning of the song? Why you sing it?
For me, it's. I want to say you are beautiful, you are strong, and you are not toy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, we worked for months together, and she was every day in the coffee shop, the first person who come, open the door, and the last person to go. And let me see who else is here and what we are doing. We have one table, contribute to Nurjahan Begun. Representative for all our friends. But welcome Nurjahan. I think she is a wonderful example of all. You see, we have the Yunus Center completely here. Isn't it like this? I hear the story, then the first time you see your boss after 3 years. Is it like this? Welcome the boss, welcome the Yunus Center. You're wonderful what you do. Okay, Mario, hello. We have the Lavazza table here. And we have a piano in the middle of the room. And when we look to the fall of the Berlin Wall, maybe this revolution went in the right direction. Maybe women really make it in the first time to get the power and shape it more in a conscious way. And for this moment, I asked Vincenzo to help me to create a moment of silence before we start the music and explain a little bit what it means for us in a social business community, in a family, in a village, in a street, in a city, to have the power of music. You need a microphone. Yes, here we are. Thies, thank you. You create the moment of silence.
This
and
is
then we
true
welcome
honor.
Ferhan and Ferzan.
Hello,
And
my
they
ladies.
will play us one song.
They're great
And I sit down and
musicians.
enjoy it.
Okay, you know, for us musicians, silence is, in fact, the first score we need to understand good, because usually we are painting on silence. We're relating to silence to construct balance, to create a structure between sections, between different dynamics, between different ideas. And many people realize that, and in fact, the only way to really understand each other, and this happens in an orchestra, but this happens also for businesses, is to be able to stop and listen to who is sitting on the other side of the table. Really take a moment to truly listen. There was an American composer called John Cage who was truly obsessed with silence. So obsessed that he went himself into a chamber where he blocked all the sounds from outside. And he tried for hours to see if he could reach total silence. His conclusion was not very encouraging. He said, we human beings are too noisy. I was listening to my heart. I was listening to my veins. So I could not find true silence. But he wrote a piece. He wrote a composition that's called 433. And I don't think he was aware how important this would become, because in fact was an action in the Fluxus time, was an art performance where he stood in front of a piano for 4 minutes 33 in silence. This is the most played piece in the world right now, more than the proposal when Hans told me yesterday that he would ask me to create this silence. I will make a proposal. I'm sure if we make an effort to stay just 60 seconds, slowly listening to the inside and in silence and looking at the people around us. And after that, we will hear the piano, a totally different instrument. I promise that. So let's try. 433 by John Cage, shorter version.
Versahnender. Thank you. Maria, our navigator, you take over for the protocol.
We have a lot of hello to say from Turin to the whole community. We start our session, Hey Turin. The first person, of course, is the mayor. So something special about the city is that really the all institutions gather together.
So let me welcome you to Torino, to the summit. Let me to welcome Professor Yunus. I'm very proud, I'm very honored to be the mayor of the city that will guest for the first time such kind of very important event. And yesterday night when we met in the CERMIG at Ernesto Olivero, we discussed about what is the importance of the constructing the culture of peace. And in this moment in particular, it is very important to be really concrete in the action that we perform. Social business is a model that can represent not only a very important pillar of this kind of strategy, but is another important support that we can have in our city as the contribution of our Chamber of Commerce, our social impact table, that is one of the most promising, in my personal opinion, innovation in terms of the definition of this kind of culture. So, Professor Yunus, I'm really happy to guest you for this important event, and I'm really happy to guest in our city all the delegates that are coming from any place in the world, because the peace needs culture, as the statement of the sentence of the event, but in particular needs people, and needs people that have to work in their own reality and work together in a joint vision. That is what is really important in this kind of moment. Let me thank also our partners that financially support this event. We are in one of the most iconic place of the city, the Compagnia di San Paolo, and all the supporting sponsors that work with the city to permit the correct and running of the event. So enjoy Torino, enjoy the summit, of course, discuss. There are a lot of very nice tables, but enjoy also the city. And please, let me make a sort of promoter of the city. Come back again. As you mentioned, we have the ATP finals until a few days. Torino is a running city that is working on several directions. And among this direction, I think that the social business could represent also for our future a very important pillar in the strategy of construction of the culture of peace. So thank you very much and enjoy the summit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Turin, to host us. We have the second institution that really supported us and gathered a lot of parties around to support us is the Chamber of Commerce. And the Chamber of Commerce in Turin is also special because there's a full network of organizations around it. Dr. Bolato yesterday mentioned that at our event at CERMIG, Torino Social Impact. So it was really, really a big support that we received. Dr. Bolato, now I'm going to have something special because the next three speakers to welcome on stage are going to be accompanied by chancellors. And Dr. Bolato is coming with the first chancellor. The chancellors are our young challengers. A big applause for our young challengers. They went through a training of 2 months on how to build social businesses with Tech for Good. They're ready this afternoon to pitch their social business ideas. And I have here Dr. Bolato that is coming with Marco. Some of them came from the city. They were supported by Compagnia di San Paolo and some local institutions. Let's welcome them on stage. Hello. Guido Tolbolato, how are you?
Good.
Yes, and Marco, how are you?
Hello everyone, I'm fine, thank you. I'm feeling really good vibes from the event.
Yes, how good, how good?
Super excited.
Yes! Thank you, thank you. So, Dr. Volato, please, let's welcome the summit.
Thank you, and a very welcome to everyone to be here in Torino. The mayor already speak about the city, and the welcome the city and the Chamber of Commerce too. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Professor Yunus to decide to put this meeting in Torino, and a special thanks to Maria at the name of all the staff that worked together with us for an year, really, to organize this event. Thank you very much, Maria. Some words about the Chamber of Commerce and why the Chamber of Commerce support event like this. We are, in Italy, the Chamber are public body, so we are part of the public administration of the country. And especially, we have the duty to manage the register of entrepreneurs. That is really a register of all the life of all the enterprise in Italy. What we call enterprise in Italy are also are big company like Lavazza or Stellantis or Intesa San Paolo and so on, but also very small enterprises, one-man shop or one-man businesses in the city. And all these enterprises are obliged every year to pay a small amount, small taxes to the chamber to be ascribed in the register. And with this money, we are obliged to enforce the development of a territory. So we work in this field. The enterprises inscribed to the Chamber of Commerce of Torino are more than 220,000. So there are a lot of members of the chambers. But we have also the duty of market regulation, safeguard of public interest and consumer protection, and also promotion the local economy and support of business development. We are extremely also interested about the issue of sustainability and of the social impact, so support social entrepreneurship to these particular topics. This event is part of a pathway which started many years ago with the creation of social entrepreneurship committee within the Chamber of Commerce. From 2004, our Chamber of Commerce at the time was already a clear vision about the importance of this economic sector to boost an equal and balanced development. At the end of 2017, we launched together with other 11 local actors, especially Compagnia di San Paolo, Torino Social Impact, an alliance among companies, public and private institutions, aimed at making Turin one of the best places in the world to do business and finance, pursuing goals of economic viability along with objective of social impact. Torino Social Impact today is an open platform gathering over 220 companies, institutions, financial operators, charities, foundation, and first sector enterprises. They joined the project by subscribing a simple MOU aimed to sharing ideas, experiences, projects and resources in order to catalyze and attract investment and activities which aspire to solve emerging social problems through economic sustainable business model. The result of this work is a cluster of skills, activities, service to strengthen and promote the local ecosystem in the framework of Agenda 2030. and the piloting of many experimental projects, such as the social stock exchange, a sort of stock exchange, a sort of market in which we don't measure the enterprise only for profit and money, but also for the social impact on the environment that are around the enterprises, and so on. Also, private social procurement, tech for business, and other projects like this. In this framework, the work of the Yunus Center is very relevant, and the fact that you decide to organize your meeting in our city is very meaningful for us and confirms the attractiveness of our ecosystem, which is represented by many partners attending this morning. I'm sure that the whole audience will truly benefit from the rich program of workshop and dialogue that you have set up, and with the aim of highlighting the fundamental role that social business can play in creating a sustainable world. And I hope also that it is a start of a pathway that we, Torino Social Impact and the Yunus Center, can do together to develop more social impact in our city. So thank you again, Professor Yunus. Thank you again, Maria, and have a good meeting.
Thank you, thank you. You will discover many of these initiatives. This afternoon we have the Academia Forum at the University of Turin that is also a nice partner of these initiatives today. Foundations as well. You have to know that Turin is, you have a lot of bank foundations, and probably one of the oldest foundation ever in terms of banking is here. They were a great supporter of us, the Fondazione Compagnia di San Paolo, and I have the honor today to welcome Francesco Profumo, the president, and he's going to be accompanied by Aisha, a young challenger that was sponsored by Compagnia as well in our program.
Then, Aisha, why you're here?
Well, I'm here because I'm interested in social business, and I think it could be very useful to make a real impact in the world, because we are seeing nowadays that there is this shift to become more social aware, either businesses or people, and social business could help us push further this change.
Very good.
Thank you.
You are Italian and Morocco? From which place you come, your family?
From Marrakesh.
Yes, from Morocco. Yeah. And did you grow up in this country?
No, I was born in Italy, so I'm Italian,
okay.
but I'm also Moroccan, so it's two nationalities, I can say.
Okay, do you have friends here?
Yeah.
Many friends?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and do you have a sister and brothers?
I have 3 brothers. I'm the only daughter.
Oh, you are the only daughter. Good. I think we need applause here. Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Then I'm representing here Compagnia di San Paolo. Compagnia di San Paolo is a very special foundation. It was set up in 1563, almost 500 years ago. And the reason was that 7 people from Torino, they decided to give back some part of what they got from the life. And also at that time, we had the crisis, we had the problems, and then they decided to move from their place to this possibility, just to give back something. Then it's a long history, 500 years. And the first big crisis was in the 1600 with the big pandemia. And again, they had the 3 segment, pandemia first, war second, and carestia the third one. Then it seems to me that is something that is repeating. And the Compagnia has a very strong background from this sense. In the years, then move from to be just a philanthropic entity to a bank. The name was Istituto San Paolo di Torino. And then in the beginning of 990, we had a law in Italy, and this law separated for the bank system the business from the philanthropy. And at that time, in 1992, the Compagnia di San Paolo was set up in this form. Then, do you know something more about the Compagnia di San Paolo?
Yeah, I know it does many good things, like it invests in the youth and help them achieve their dreams by investing and helping them like to go to university and to continue their studies. I think this is a very important thing because education is the foundation of growing and becoming a better citizen and making also an impact in the world.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, education is the first priority for Compagnia di San Paolo, but in the meantime, we do also a lot of work on research in different fields, and first of all, social research. But then we do a lot of work related to the environment, to people, to culture, to health. You know, it's very spread out intervention that we have in the Compagnia. The Compagnia is a small group. We have about 100 people on that. But then we have a group of entities that are related to the Compagnia di San Paolo, because the Compagnia is becoming more and more what we call an hybrid foundation. Do you know something, what means hybrid foundation?
No, can you explain?
Yeah, I try to explain to you. The Compagnia in the beginning, for a long time, was just a foundation that was able to distribute money, and this was in a philanthropic way. But then, because the demand is growing, and we understand that the money is only a part, in the sense that you needed to accompany this money. This means that the money address to use this money. For example, in education, but also in art, also in startup. And we create, as Mr. Bolato said before, one incubator for social startup. This is a part of what we do every day. And this is very, very interesting. You know, this Torino has been for a long time an industrial city. Then Fiat Group went down, and now Torino is much more one education center city and a social city. What do you feel about this feeling that we have in Torino?
I think it's very good. As I said before, this change is needed because we have to become more socially and environmentally aware, because the world is not waiting for us. There are limited resources. We are wasting our time, and we have to wake up and make an impact as soon as possible.
Yeah, we were discussing before that, for example, for environment, you can get some credit. For other issues, you can get some credit. Do you feel that we can do something also for the social issues?
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that it could be also useful, as we already have carbon credits, also the new plastic credits. It could also be interesting to have some social impact credits. So you help companies that are willing to make a social impact in achieving this, and at the same time, we help the communities that are in need of employment or in resources to invest to grow their economy. We can achieve these two things at the same time, and it's the best thing for everyone.
Do you feel that social credit could be the topic for your final thesis?
Yes.
Okay, good. An applause.
Applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
Welcome in Torino. You understand that we are looking forward, and girls like this one are the main part of the city. Then thank you for coming. Thank you for staying with us for these days, and I hope you can enjoy. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You can leave it there. Grazie, arrivederci. Wow. So we've seen a foundation, we see organizations, institutions. We have a company that really supported us. You are in their headquarters. This is part of their headquarters in this beautiful location. You might have tried their coffee at the entrance. So Lavazza was a very, very big partner for us. And we met Giuseppe Lavazza last night. We had already some exchanges. Giuseppe Lavazza, please, I welcome you on stage together with Giulia Pozzi. our Young Challenger sponsored by Lavazza. Maybe I ask Julia, what excites you the most about social business?
I think that social business is really something more than simply doing business. It's really something that makes you really understand the value and the sense of the word profit. Profit for someone could be something merely economic, as just an economic meanings, but with the social business, I think that you can really go beyond, and it makes you understand what else you can do in order to create a positive impact on all other spheres which are interconnected to a company. For example, the society, environment, and the climate. And so I think that also social business is something that makes you keep on thinking on what else you can do, not only to be financially sustainable, but also on what you can do in order to improve external conditions on which you can also responsible on. And this is, I think that social business can change the world, and this is how I think I would like to use it.
Thank you. Do you feel the same, Dr. Lavazza?
Of course. You see, we are already a good team. Look at the color. Same thought. So, dear friends, thank you so much for being here on behalf of the Lavazza family and all our employees around the world, management team. We are around a family of 4,000 people. A very warm welcome in our Nuvola, the Lavazza quarter here in Turin. We are in a very special location. This room was, in the ancient time, a power station, hosting turbines and working with coal, unfortunately, but providing a lot of energy at the beginning of the last century to the city. And nowadays, we are providing, I think, a lot of very good ideas to change the world, to shift the mindset because of you, because of your passion, because of your talent, because, of course, of our dreams. And for Lavazza to host this summit is such a relevant opportunity. We are a company that has always been committed to sustainability because we are working with a very sensible product. It's coffee, you know, it's a global one. And it's a very challenging environment that we are facing. So for us, put in place responsible business, not just a business, is absolutely centric and strategic. So we're trying, of course, to combine business need with social and environmental responsibilities. As you know, we have many challenges to face. The speed of changing it's increasing around the world. We are overwhelming by a lot of issues and troubles, but we are not hopeless, of course, because we know that supporting and baking the best practices and try to disseminate good ideas with, of course, commitment and long-term vision can really make a difference. And we are here exactly to express this will and, of course, to do the job as to be done, so in the best way. So thank you from everyone. I really hope you can enjoy the summit. So let's talk the beautiful music we listen to. Let's talk the good ideas, the good people. Very, very warm welcome also to Professor Yunus. I have to greet him very much because of his presence, of course, his support. It's extraordinary learnings and a remarkable achievement. So I'm so honored to have you here. You have always been for me a source of big inspiration. Thank you, and I hope to work with you and all with the organization for a long time. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. Grazie. Ciao, ci vediamo dopo. So, one last big partner. It's not a new partner for us. They have been with us since 2017, maybe. We have been together doing much more than just supporting a summit. We carry out programs of entrepreneurship. We train also young challengers inside the group. Is another company. And I have the honor to welcome our big partner, Claudia Belli and BNP Paribas. And she is accompanied by Ashley Lee, who came all the way from Australia to be with us today. So 26 hours of traveling, it's incredible. that means you have a lot of passion for social business.
Yes, I do. It's the human care that makes me passionate about social business, and the creativity, innovation that brings us indefinite possibility for the world, and that's why.
Certainly the most, not most passion, but one of the very passionate, as many as we are here. We are learning so much. So thanks for being here with us, and thanks for inviting us. Maybe one few words about why is it finance here as a symbol of society. We have seen the foundation. Now we can also ask ourselves, why is finance being here? The idea is that all companies need financing. All companies need financial services. So we understood, and I think quite early, that we are really the one who can change, who have a thing to do. We can change society, and we have a role to play. We really can contribute. It's our duty to contribute to this changing of the society, and we have this honor to be able to do it. So we believe that wherever we are, we can try to do better. For sure, it's never enough, because otherwise we wouldn't be at the stage we are right now. But we can do much more. And so I was thinking about this 3-0 world of Professor Yunus. We are trying to make progress in each of the 3-0. When I'm thinking about the zero poverty, zero exclusion, we think about the support of social businesses, to social enterprises, and to microfinance. We have achieved last year more than 2 billion of funding to social businesses, and 350 million of funding to microfinance. When we think about a world of zero net carbon emissions, that is really a challenge. But we are really making all the efforts to go on this, like training, so through the Sustainability Academy, all our employees, 200,000 employees, into what products can be served that are going to bring forward our clients into a net carbon emission, or bringing the low carbon transition group for the large corporates with 250 professionals, or decreasing our portfolio on the carbonated portfolio by 12% by 2025. I mean, or increasing the financing to renewables 4 times since 2017 up to 2025. We want to achieve 30 billion. So there's so much to do. And then, of course, more entrepreneurship, so zero unemployment. And for the zero unemployment, well, this is one of the reasons we are here too, because you can do so much. You can help social enterprises through the pro bono, and we have here a delegation of legal making pro bono. You can increase the social businesses, and we are having here a delegation of social businesses from Italy, from Spain, from Germany, and also from the bank that we have created through the help of Grameen Creative Lab. And then, of course, we can help entrepreneurship through the banking activities by helping them, by financing the youth, which is so needed. And then the leaders, making new leaders for tomorrow. So helping the future manager of tomorrow to understand how we can change the world by creating positive impact in our way to do the business. And this is also why we are here. So thank you for inviting us here.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, BNP Paribas, for supporting us and for this great partnership. Thank you. There's going to be many sessions where you're going to see a lot of the people that I introduced here. We're running a bit late on schedule. And now is the time to welcome. Thank you so much. Sorry. I was like a bit like puzzled by the time. Now it's time to, of course, welcome our founders of the summit. I'm a new kid in the block, as you maybe might notice, so I could introduce the partners in Turin, but I think there's somebody better than me that can introduce our founders. So I call on stage Shazib Islam Karul, the CEO of the Huawei Ventures. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Buongiorno, good morning, and shubo shokal, everyone. So my name is Shazib. I work at YY Ventures and the 3Z Global Center, and I will be your moderator for the next 30 minutes or so. So how are we enjoying this event so far? How are we enjoying this event so far? We can do better. It's an honor to be here with all of you after 3 years of this pandemic. And ladies and gentlemen, to get started on this round of the opening event, I want to invite YY's storyteller and visionary. He travels the world, promotes social inclusion, creativity, nuts and dates and fruits. And he brings together communities for social change like this event. He has been a key catalyst of building a new civilization for over a decade. He's also a co-founder and CEO at the Grameen Creative Lab, creative director at Yunus Center, and a co-founder of the Global Social Business Summit. My mentor and a friend and YY grandpa. Hans writes, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's great to be a grandpa. So, I make some thoughts about how I do this opening for you. Be grateful. Be grateful and have a lifelong learning attitude. And be here for the Global Social Business Summit means to have the next questions. The questions, what are you doing, Antoniella? What are you doing, Daniela? What are you doing, Khan? How are you doing the last years? What are your next step? Always have a next question in your mind. The Grameen style, the Grameen way of living, is always an inspiration of us. And the world needs emotions, the world needs magic emotions. We aren't a rational people. We will rationalize every situation which we will have. We are blinded by ourselves with a super economic in the last 2 decades. And now it's over. It's not only anymore about no going back. There is no way back. Some call themselves the last generation. At the same moment, we are human beings with a deep connection to nature. Even like Ron, we feel the superorganism of our planet. We feel our life, our love, and we feel our trust. We trust ourselves to find a way forwards, and so always forwards. A social business and its fabulous players who are all here today from Bangladesh and across the whole world. We open the arena of problems. Come with all your problems on the table. Come with all your experience on the table. And all your troubles what you have. Because as long
Now it is with great joy that I welcome our leading lady. She is one of the most prominent figures in the social business arena. She is our inspiration as she leads with her heart and guides us over, with her, 30 years of experience with Grameen. She is a key board member in a number of social businesses across the globe, paving the way for us to build a world of 3 zeros, one day at a time, one social business at a time. And yet, she will always find to answer my text, always sit down with my team, always guide us to move forward. No matter who you are, Find her, talk to her about all your aspirations about social business. Trust me, she will always find a way to support you. It is my great pleasure to invite on stage the Executive Director of Yunus Center, Ms. Lamia Morshed.
Thank you very much for that very generous introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Yunus Center and the Grameen Creative Lab, I'm very happy to welcome you all to the beautiful city of Turin, to the Global Social Business Summit 2022. It's the 12th year running of the GSBS, and it continues to bring all social business practitioners, promoters, and friends from the academic, institutional, and entrepreneurial world to one of the biggest annual gatherings of social business. We come here to plan our actions to build a world of 3 zeros, a vision described by Professor Muhammad Yunus, a world of zero net carbon emissions, zero wealth concentration to end poverty, zero unemployment through unleashing entrepreneurship in all. This vision is not just a dream, but it's born out of 46 years of Professor Yunus's work in the field, solving these exact problems through social business. A social business is a non-dividend company that solves a human problem. It makes a profit, but to grow the business, to solve the problem, not to give profits to anyone. While these were implemented initially in Bangladesh, they have proved to be scalable and replicable not only across my country, Bangladesh, but in all other geographies. Because at the core, they address issues that face people wherever in the world they are. We had prepared some statistics for the GSBS about the performance in Bangladesh, and I want to just share some of those with you here because it's exciting for me to do that. So Professor Yunus's first social business was Grameen Bank. He did not call it a social business then, but it reached 35 to date, $36 billion in collateral-free microloans to 10 million poor women across the country. Through the bank, the loans have been given to build nearly 1 million homes across Bangladesh for the rural poor. Grameen Trust, an organization he set up in 1991, has supported 154 microcredit replication projects in 43 countries, following the exact same approach, and reaching 125 million families cumulatively with microcredit through these projects. Grameen Telecom, another company created by Professor Yunus, created 2 million village phone projects when there were no phones anywhere in the rural areas of Bangladesh. In a joint venture with Telenor of Norway, it has reached more than 83 million users of telephone in Bangladesh, changing the face of Bangladesh forever. The Grameen Healthcare Services has created 4 eye care hospitals, which has treated 2.3 million patients and done more than 150,000 cataract surgeries. Grameen Kalyan has created 150 primary healthcare clinics, reaching more than 700,000 rural families through its health centers. The Glasgow Caledonian College of Nursing has become the leading nursing college in Bangladesh, with a total of 1,400 students coming from poor families of Bangladesh as students, and have 818 top nurses in the country. Grameen Shakti is a renewable energy social business created by Professor Yunus, which has built 1.8 million solar home systems in rural Bangladesh, 1 million improved cooking stoves, impacting on 7.2 million people. Since 2013, the Nobeen program has provided equity financing to 103 young entrepreneurs in the second generation of the Grameen Bank families, investing more than $132 million, helping them to become job creators instead of job seekers. Grameen Shikha has provided 7,000 scholarships to students, provided vocational training to 11,000 young people, provided early childhood caregiver training to 138,000 young people, 4,500 kids in slum schools, and 200,000 kids in preschools. Ononno Construction, a social business construction company created by Professor Yunus, is powering the infrastructure for all of the social businesses, including building hospitals, a mega health complex, a social business convention center, and hospitality center. Grameen Communications, another social business, has digitized the entire Grameen Bank microfinance system, as well as the systems of 190 other microfinance institutions in Bangladesh and around the world, and is now doing the same for the Nobeen New Entrepreneurs Program. Grameen Danone Foods Limited has provided fortified nutritious yogurt to more than 300,000 families in Bangladesh in the US and continues to expand. The Grameen Creative Lab, which has been bringing this beautiful summit to us, has done this for 12 years and has overcome all its challenges to bring this summit to you this year with the theme of cultivating a culture of peace. Hans and team not only bring the social business summit to us, but all kinds of new types of collaboration with new types of actors into the social business world in the spirit of creativity and joy. Yunus Social Business, another global entity created by Professor Yunus, has financed 62 businesses around the world in 5 countries, 60 plus corporate projects, and supported 2,070 social business entrepreneurs impacting on 3 zeros. The Yunus Environment Hub is focused on supporting social business entrepreneurs working on climate action and circularity around the world, advising governments and involving the private sector into carbon neutral business activities. In 2021, 79 environmental social businesses were incubated and 510 social business entrepreneurs were trained. The Yunus Sports Hub works on social business in the sports world. 90 experts deliver programs over 40 countries and has become a recognized actor in the sports sector. This year marks the creation of a new partnership with the Yunus Sports Hub with the Global Esports Federation to bring social business and gaming together. Yunus YY Ventures in Bangladesh, which is inspired by the Yunus social business model, has incubated 74 companies in Bangladesh, of which 63% are female-led, and they have created 1,300 jobs and improved the lives of 200,000 Bangladeshis. Sing for Hope is a social business dedicated to changing lives through arts and creativity, working across the US and in other parts of the world. We at the Yunus Center are working to disseminate these learnings from these social businesses through our global programs, such as the Summit, 12 social business days, which we organize every year, bringing together an average of 1,800 people from 60 to 65 countries. We have been organizing in the pandemic the web lectures, which document these experiences and spread these messages and learnings. Through the Yunus Center, 100 universities in 37 countries have established Yunus Social Business Centers within the university to bring this learning and teaching into the curriculum and into practice. There are 19 more such universities in the pipeline coming up, and these are helping to create the mind shift so that young people can choose to become entrepreneurs instead of job seekers on the one hand, and social business entrepreneurs instead of for-profit entrepreneurs on the other hand. Many of the YSBCs are represented here today, and this afternoon we have the academic forum at the University of Turin, with the University of Turin also announcing its plan to create a Yunus Social Business Center. Professor Yunus always says it's the young people who will be the powerhouse for change. With this in mind, in 2021, the 3-0 Club initiative was launched by him to encourage young people to form groups of 5 between the ages of 12 and 35 to take individual actions towards creating a 3-0 world. Nearly in this time, in this 1 year since then, nearly 500 clubs carefully formed in 38 countries have been created to work towards the 3-0 world. Each one of these activities are created to do a social good. Each are social businesses that aim to solve a social problem, but not to return profits to individual investors, rather to use the profits to grow the business and increase its reach. So you see it's a veritable global movement encompassing and touching the lives of millions of people worldwide. These organizations that I mentioned are all represented here at the summit, and their leaders will be speaking at different sessions. I hope you will take time to seek them out and speak to them. They're all here to share their experiences with you. So much is achieved, but so much further to go towards creating the world of 3.0 that Professor Yunus envisions. The pandemic taught us how interconnected we all are, that a fire in one place can engulf another place altogether. The same is the case for climate change. It makes us understand that we must all come together, every one of us, wherever we are, to reverse the damage that has taken place and redesign to create a new, fair, just, and sustainable world. And that social business can provide a framework as well as a toolbox towards that. That's why we are here, to connect and brainstorm and build actions together across generations to achieve with urgency and with the youth in the lead towards our common goal of creating a world of 3 zeros. Let us do that with joy. I would like to thank the Mayor and the City of Turin, the Turin Chamber of Commerce, the Fondazione Compagnia di Sao Paulo, the Lavazza Group for hosting us in this superb venue and for all their support, the TMP, the logistic partners at this year's GSPS. I want to thank Hans, Maria, and the GCL team who have worked tirelessly for a year to bring us this beautiful summit. I want to thank all the supporters that Hans had brought up on stage earlier in the program for their support to bring us all here. I want to thank all the delegates, the 30-strong Yunus and Grameen delegation from Bangladesh. And I want to, last but not least, thank Professor Yunus and our team at Yunus Center for the summit today. Thank you very much.
What's the performance?
You're so good. Thank you so much, Lamia Morshed, all the leaders of these organizations who are in this room, and thousands of brothers and sisters who works day in and day out to make it happen. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, it is the biggest honor of my life to welcome the man whose idea and philosophy have created a paradigm shift. His groundbreaking concept of microcredit and social business has created jobs across boundaries and race. No matter you are living in a city, a village, whatever the community is, one person at a time can create a beautiful social business with joy. This man has dedicated his life to building a world of 3 zeros, inspiring generations to find their identity by unleashing their creativity, and he inspires us to be creative and to start small and to become social business entrepreneurs. As he rewrites modern history, he reminds us to do it too with joy. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Nobel Peace Prize laureate, founder of Grameen Bank and chairman of Yunus Center, Professor Muhammad Yunus.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hans, you did it again. Let's give a big applause for Hans and his team, Maria and Lamia and everybody. Thank you. It's wonderful to be together. And when I was leaving Dhaka for this trip, we all came from as part of the delegation. And we are chatting what we'll do when we go there. One of the delegates said, let's take a picture together. We work in the same office. They want to take a picture. I was surprised. He said, we are seeing you after 3 years. See, what a change world has gone through. What a change world has gone through. Because we work in the same office, but they're saying, we are seeing you after 3 years. We don't see each other. We are hiding from each other. So that's a shocking news that the world has gone through. Today, we are here together after 3 years. During these 3 years, we always had what we call virtual Global Social Business Summit. We see on the screen few people. The magic of being together is completely missed. So we feel totally energized just being with each other, unlike sitting at home on your screen, making speeches to each other, hearing each other's voice, but don't feel the closeness that this forum provides. And this was idea to bring the family together. All the friends together. It's a family reunion. That's what we described, that the Global Social Business Summit is a family reunion. As Maria was saying, it's a wedding ceremony or wedding festivity and so on. That, yes, wedding ceremony too. But this wedding is about getting wedded to social business. It's a kind of thing that we want to do for the world, how we can to do that. But that needs close contact. And bringing people together is not easy. We already have lots of stories about who lost their luggages on the way, still didn't retrieve. How many people we couldn't get here because they didn't get the visa? Entire African delegation is missed out. You don't have African delegation here because they couldn't get the visa. And we hear missing visas from everywhere, that they couldn't get to the visa part. And then missing flights and all that. And finally, those who survived got here. It's wonderful. Let's give a big applause to us that we're here and say hello to people who couldn't be here. And it's a wonderful way to come here in Turin. And thanks to the mayor. And thanks to Giuseppe Lavasa. We were talking to each other the other night. And suddenly we felt that some electricity, the same kind of excitement that I felt when I met the chairman of Danone for the first time. He's showing interest in understanding what social business is all about. Your business is making money. So where do you have a place for social business? He said, no, I understand what you said. And I want to do exactly that. Since I never worked with corporates before, in the size of Danone, so I was kind of staying a little back, that probably I'm confusing him or he's confusing me. But it turned out to be enormous interest. He flew into Dhaka to announce that Danone is going to set up a plant here in Bangladesh to create a social business, Grameen Danone food industry. And that's what it did. So that's a magic you feel when you talk to someone. And I felt the same magic when I talked to Josefa. I don't know how these things work. People tell me that you don't have anything to offer from the social business. You deny the incentive behind the business, which is money. I said, that's true. We don't have anything to offer in terms of money. But that doesn't mean that we don't offer anything. And I keep emphasizing that making money may be happiness. More money you make, more happy you get. But social business is different. Social business, you make more money, you get more happy in conventional business, money-making business. But in social business, if you touch people's life, you suddenly become super happy. Making money is a happiness. Touching people's lives is a super happiness. Now it's upgraded. Simple invitation that I make, I said, look, you don't have to get wedded to social business right away. You can have a taste of it. Do a tiny little social business. See if you feel the vibe in it. So it's an invitation to taste it out. Because I say, I felt that vibe. I feel super happy. And many of the people who had got into it tell the same story. I said, it's a very intoxicating experience. Once you get into it, you can't stop it anymore.
because the happiness that it brings to you in seeing that you have the capacity to touch other people's life, change things the way you hope to get things changed. And that's the story that we'll be sharing during this the short period that we'll have here in Turin. And many things will come because of the fact that we talk to each other, share experience with each other. And we need that change urgently. We don't have time. The urgency is the piece that I want to share with everybody, and I do it every day, that we don't have much time left. Our ship is sinking. We are still having fun inside the ship, not recognizing that the ship is sinking. And that feeling, that understanding has to be made very clear. And COVID is a good experience. Many things made us very clear what this world is all about. We make kind of our own imagination that everything is fine, because it refused to recognize the difficulties that we have created for ourselves. Everything is not fine. Global warming is not about doing little steps. We have crossed that time when little step could build that up, but we don't have time now. We need big initiative, big effort to save this sinking ship. But that time doesn't allow us to save the ship. Best way to use our time, the civilization that we are passing through is on a suicidal path. Before we get to the end of this journey of the suicide, we still have time, little time left to build a new civilization. And that's the new civilization that I try to describe by saying it will be a civilization distinguished by something very special. The present civilization is based on money. It's a money-centric, profit-centric world that we built. No matter how you describe it, how many repair work you have done, how many more repair work you want to do, the basic machine that we built is about money. So I said, present civilization has converted human being into robots. They see only one thing. They do a very good job at that, making money. So what I was trying to say that the new civilization that we want to build, excuse me, can I get a drink of water? Yeah. The new civilization, sorry. New civilization that we want to build, thank you. I'll keep it here. Will be based on discovering ourselves as human beings, moving away from the robotic kind of structure and attitude that we have built in us. So that will be a civilization which will be used, which will be established the basic elements of human being. And those basic elements about sharing, about caring about each other. That civilization doesn't have any room for war. Because if you care for each other, there's no question of war. War comes as a kind of dismissal of all arguments or negotiations and discussions. Human being has grown enough over this whole history how to resolve our disputes, our disagreements. We have to establish a mechanism satisfaction of both sides. Is it too much to ask for human being? Is human being not mature enough to do that yet? That's why we go back to the younger generation. That's what we'll be discussing during our family gathering. How to get to the young people. They understand issues very clearly in a transparent way. And when we see through the prism of money, we confuse ourselves. We fool ourselves. But since the young generation still didn't get through that prism yet, their eyes is still clear. Their minds are not contaminated by all those confusing things that we have been circulating around, doing some token thing and say we have solved it. Token thing is not a solution. It's escapism. You escape from that reality of it by doing a little thing here and say we did it. It's enormous capacity that human being has on this planet, never used to protect this planet. We merrily destroy this planet. Every day we do that. That's why we go to the young people with a simple message. I hope this message will also go to the grown-ups too. But we are focusing on the young people, creating 3-0 clubs. In order to build the 3-0 world, we have to take little steps, very tiny steps, bite-sized steps to create 3-0 club. Very simple idea. 5 young people, fixed. We love the number 5 because whole Grameen Bank is built on number 5. Everything in Grameen Bank does all over around the world is about 5 women get together, form a group. And then the basis of everything which defied the entire banking system, the power of 5 friends together. They built the whole banking system discarding all the rules and procedures of banking and does wonderful banking better than the conventional banking. That's the power of 5. And we explain it very simply. We said conventional bank go to the rich, we do the opposite. We go to the poor. Conventional banks go to men, we go to women. Conventional banks go to the city center, we go to the remote village. Conventional banks want you to come to the premises of their own premises. People should come to their premises to do business. We said we defied it. We said people should not go to the bank, bank should go to the people. That's the way it should be. Conventional bank took it as their truth that people are not trustworthy. So they bring their lawyers. They ask for collaterals so that you tie it down completely so that that guy cannot escape from you. We dismissed the whole idea of collateral, lawyers, and so on. And we created a bank or a banking system free from lawyers. In the entire banking system that we have, all the billions of dollars that we give to the poor women, there is no lawyer in our system. Conventional bank gets shocked. How can you give money? Maybe you give small money that works. I said we give small money, but together it's billions of dollars. In Grameen Bank today, with the 10 million borrowers, they lend out over $3 billion a year. And that grows. Grameen America already crossed 3 billion. They're planning for 20 billion in the next 10 years. No documents, no collateral, no lawyers. But the money comes back in Grameen America. Their record of entire 14 years of operation, the repayment rate has remained over 99.5% and above. Any bank in the world will be super happy to get to that repayment rate with all their lawyers, with all their collaterals, or everything. Why? How does it work? Because we brought trust into the picture. The entire banking is done with trust. People say trust is not trustworthy. I said, that's what you think. You go back to the trust, you'll find out real human being. We work it out ourselves to this 5-member groups. Nothing formal, not registered, no legal entity, just informal friendship between 5 friends. That makes all the trick. So when we talk about 3-0 world, people say, that's not possible. I said, that's what they told us when I started giving money to poor people. It will never work. Are you crazy? Poor people taking money will disappear, never show up again. Well, simply say, I never took any money from you. Oh, we get very excited. We make impossibles possible. That's our job. That's what the human being is all about. For human beings, the day human being was born on this planet, everything was impossible. The history of human being is to make everything possible. So when we see something impossible, we get very excited. We have a chance now to make it possible. We worry that if everything becomes possible, what do? We have no work left. So that's the spirit, that we stand for impossibles and make it possible. And that's the commitment we go back with after Turin, after we have discussed our talk, we've shaken hands and hugs each other. We gather here. We'll hug everybody because we see each other after 3 years. How to get into a conference and face each other, sit down with each other, have lunch with each other, dinner with each other. So makes us super strong now as a 3-0 person. If a young person can make himself and herself into a 3-0 person, whole world will be a 3-0 world. That's the start. It's just always the smallest step. That smallest step will take us to the million-mile journey. Because if you know how to take the first step, the rest is very simple. Just repeat. Repetition is what makes the journey possible. You don't learn first lesson and then learn second lesson. You don't learn the second step. It's just a repetition of the first step. And people miss that point. People always have a grand plan and don't know where to start. So our job is to make the first step, design, prototype design. And once we learn that, that's what the 3-0 clubs will be doing. How to make myself into a 3-0 person. How to make sure my contribution to global warming, I bring it to 0. If I know how to bring it to 0, global warming, wealth concentration, unemployment, all the 3 zeros that we're talking about, the job is done. The rest is about the repetition. What you have, in the process, we make it more efficient. We learn more to do it better, faster, quicker, because we don't have much time left. So we have to go in a massive way just to get the message out and see how the examples are created and doing that. So we are very happy. Turin comes right at the most strategic location of time. Because here we are, make a commitment for the entire world to make sure we don't go to that suicidal path. We don't follow the old roads. Old road is the old road of suicide. We want to build new roads to go to a new destination. That's our job, and that's what we'll do. That's our commitment. Thank you very much for having this wonderful, wonderful gathering for all of us together. Congratulations to all of you. Well, thank you, and you have a great day. Great time. Turin will be the most remarkable global summit we ever had, because this will be the turning point for all of us. We'll save this planet. We'll create a better world for everybody. They'll remember it all began in Turin. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Yunus. Thank you so much, Hans, Lamia, Professor Yunus, for also creating this global gathering that we call Global Social Business Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward to the closing of this opening ceremony, we have a message from a friend of the family, Hilde Schwab, from Schwab Foundation and World Economic Forum. Can we have the video, please?
Professor Yunus, Mr. Reitz, honored guests, it is a pleasure to address you today. I am sorry I cannot be with you in Turin, but I'm delighted to join you for a short while today as you gather again for the Global Social Business Summit at this important time in the world. In 1998, my husband Klaus Schwab and I started the Schwab Foundation because we observed that a distinct and more innovative approach to alleviating problems associated with social inequality and environmental change was emerging. These models of social entrepreneurship or social business offered something radically different to what business or international development could deliver at the time. We were, of course, inspired by Professor Muhammad Yunus, Sir Fazli Abed, Dr. Vera Cortera, and others as a new generation of pioneers channeled their passion, persistence, ingenuity, and sense of injustice to finding new ways to achieve real change in the world around them. Over the last 3 decades, we have witnessed the emergence of a global movement of social innovation and the clear demonstration of the impact and sustainability of these models. At the Schwab Foundation, we have championed the work of social innovators by bringing their work and models to the attention of world leaders and integrating them into the platforms of the World Economic Forum. Over the past 2 years, during the pandemic and the aftermath of worsening inequality, inflation, and global instability, democracy and global peace were under threat. At the same time, we have witnessed how their work is more relevant than ever. For example, by bringing quality healthcare to rural India to combat COVID, or by empowering Black local businesses in Brazil, overcoming the economic barriers of racial inequity, or by using artificial intelligence and big data to create inclusive education platforms in South Africa. And of course, we stand by those in Ukraine, where social innovators have adapted to respond to the devastating consequences of war on its population. They developed innovative approaches to deal with mass displacement and with refugees. They supported family welfare and mental health issues, and at the same time continued economic activity despite the most challenging circumstances. Schwab Foundation awardee Sergei Kostin remains in Odessa, where his organization, The Way Home, continues to providing shelter, food, transport, and psychological support to families from across Ukraine. We are now much more aware how inequality, disintegration of societies, and exclusion poses significant risks to stability, democracy, and peace. It is a great privilege to help accelerate and amplify this kind of work and support the evolution and adoption of social innovation and social business. Today, our impact studies have shown how over 700 million lives have been directly improved by the work of this community of over 400 leading social innovators in 190 countries. But these pioneers often have to navigate institutions, business partners, and investors on their own. During the pandemic, it became urgent that the coordinated ecosystem of support was needed to work alongside these actors. We established what is now the Global Alliance for Social Entrepreneurship as a platform hosted at the World Economic Forum. It brings together over 100 members from business, international organizations, investors, and support organizations for more coordinated action to advance and scale models of social entrepreneurship. Private sector partnerships with social entrepreneurs are evolving from more traditional philanthropic support towards partnerships that add mutual value to business transformation and ESG goals. The World Economic Forum has been working with all the standard-setting organizations and the major auditing firms to bring coherence to SDG frameworks under an initiative called the Stakeholder Capitalism Metrics. While these bodies have made strong progress in harmonizing the environment indicators and issuing guidelines on the climate-related disclosure requirements, advancing the S, the social metrics, is now an urgent priority. We are seeing social issues like how companies treat local and indigenous communities, workers, suppliers, and customers rapidly turning into a new front line of the sustainability movement. With this momentum, the business case for engagement with social entrepreneurs is becoming stronger. New partnerships are also emerging at scale, such as the recent announcement between the social enterprise South Pole Group and Salesforce in establishing the Net Zero Marketplace. It connects verified projects with businesses that want to invest in carbon credits. During this year's World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos in May, we placed the social economy as an important part of the transition to a more sustainable, just economy. It is clear we now need to accelerate the evolution of social business models into the mainstream. We need to raise the visibility and investment to the level of large-scale industry and open up more avenues for collaboration with business and governments. We are delighted to present this Global Social Business Summit at this critical time in the world. We all have to be ambitious about the potential of social business as part of the solutions for peace, inclusion, climate justice, and a fairer prosperity for all. Thank you very much, and I wish you a wonderful summit.
Thank you so much. So now it's time for coffee. Find your old pals, make new friends, and I hope you continue explore social business with these conversations, get married to social business, have fun, and we have dinner tonight at 7:45 here. I know a lot of you want to meet all our friends, take pictures, exchange cards, have conversations. And do it, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shazib M. Khairul Islam. It was an honor to be your MC for this part. Thank you.